The Lord's Prayer in Matthew 6 is a prayer many people know, but in many ways it isn't so known after all. Just like most parts of the Bible, the Lord's Prayer offers multiple layers of meaning and complexities that come alive the more you scan the landscape. In the Lord's Prayer, Jesus gives us a prayer of 7 petitions in 3 parts. Within the prayer is a careful structure that places each petition next to its counterpart, revealing its meaning. In the first pair, we pray for the honor of God's name and deliverance from the one whose name is evil. In the second, we pray for God's kingdom to come and for deliverance from temptation to stray from His holy presence. In the third pair, we ask that God's will be done, on earth as in heaven. Within the structure of the prayer, Jesus positions this third petition against a prayer for forgiveness for our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. We see here the heart of God's will is peace between humankind and the divine. Jesus has patterned His prayer after the 10 Commandments in Exodus 20, which begins with recognition of who God is and ends with how we can honor God through human relationships. But Jesus offers more than the letter of the law in His prayer. His prayer invites us to re-encounter the 10 Commandments through the eyes of our salvation. Through Jesus, the law takes on new meaning and relevance. We find the substance of this re-encounter in the center, the heart of the Lord's Prayer, the request for daily bread. Now Jesus calls our minds to something beyond the law, to the meaningfulness that God places on bread in the Bible, beginning with Israel's freedom from Egyptian slavery. Exodus 16 lays the foundation for what Jesus means, when the Israelites were given enough bread on the 6th day of the week, both for that day and the next. In the wilderness, God gave His people their bread for Sabbath rest a day early, and by surpassing their earthly need that day, by calling their minds to the day of rest that was coming, God was teaching His people of a need and a rest far greater. This is why when Jesus came, He said, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry, and whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." Through the eyes of our salvation, we understand that the sustenance we require is not merely physical, but spiritual, not merely daily, but eternal. And in this worldly wilderness, God gives us a taste of the rest and the land He has promised us by giving us Jesus today, the bread of life that we will one day taste in all its fullness. This is what Jesus tells us to ask from God, and more than ask, claim. Take possession of what is already ours. Draw close to Christ, our bread of life. Through Him, all our other petitions are fulfilled. A truer translation of Jesus' words are these: "Give us tomorrow's bread today."